Hi guys, it's me Terri of the Yarnjoy podcast. Welcome back to another video. This is episode 7 of the WIP Wall Wednesday series. This is a series that I've been doing, trying to get some of my sleeping WIPs or works in progress off of my pegboard I have over here. That is what I call my WIP wall, because I hang my project bags of sleeping projects and current works in progresses off or on that wall. And so I wanted to start this series to get some that been on there for a long time, and I really just need to go through them and finish them and get them off that wall. And I thought this would be a great way for me to keep accountable to you that I get these done. So every other Wednesday I make this video and release it on a Wednesday. Showing my progress on those sleeping WIPs. Okay, so the one I've been doing here last couple of weeks or few weeks episodes is a scrap project that I had been working on. Just as a fast review, I had a whole pile of these squares that I had made. No, that's not a square. Rectangles that I had made, and some squares, some like half this size. It was an original, well, the original project was supposed to be a scrap blanket that I was doing, that I got out of this book right here. The pattern was from this book. This is the big book of scrap crochet Afghans. It's a pretty old book. I got this off of Amazon, and I will try to find a link. If I find it on Amazon, the last time I looked, they didn't have a copy available. You might be able to find it from Thrift Books, is another good website to find older books. Anyway, it was a project that I was working on in here. I thought it would be really cute to do, and I got about not even halfway through the project and decided that it wasn't one I wanted to complete. So this is what it was going to be. I think it's called the garden path, and it was just all these squares and rectangles that were supposed to be put together to make a throw, okay? And after I made, I don't know, a pretty big pile of these, I decided that I did not want to have to make 186 of them for this pattern and then stitch them all together for a blanket. And so I just put it aside, and I just didn't do anything with them. And so finally I got them out when I started this project of finishing my WIPs, and I decided to use those rectangles and put them together and make a throw out of it, but using a different pattern. Okay, so I had these two left over that I was not able to put into the project that I was using it for. I will be using those for something else. But anyway, what I decided to do is I decided to do the around the bases blanket crochet along. It's like a sampler blanket, and I thought it was perfect for this because you start with a central square as long as it comes out to be a certain stitch count per side, and then you go along with the around the bases pattern, which is based on baseball, the game of baseball. So there's different parts, and each part is called an inning. Okay, so this is what I did. I sewed all these squares together. Make sure I'm showing you the correct side here. Nope, got turned around, right? No, I had it right. Okay, so I put those squares together. See, that was there in the center, and then I started building onto it. Okay, so this is what my project is so far. Let me step back here. Okay, so the inning, or the part that I'm on right now, is well, let's just review here. So there was the beginning where I stitched all those squares and rectangles together, okay, and then I did one row to unite them together of single crochets, and then the first inning, or the part of the blanket, was this shell type stitch right there in the pink that I did, and then inning number 2 was this piece in here that I did the popcorn, I think it's popcorn stitch. Okay, right there, and then starting with the orange, well then I think I had to end it off, I had to do like a round of single crochets, and I did that in the orange. Okay, so since I showed you this in episode number 6, I did inning number 3, which was this block stitch. Okay, and as you can see, there's the block stitch consists of 2 rows, the setup row and then the block stitch row, and so there was 3 of those, which was equivalent to 6 stitches, and I alternated the colors there. I did that cranberry type color, and then the second time I did it, the second row of block stitch, I did this blue, kind of a royal blue, and then this, it's like a teal, like a jewel tone teal. Okay, and so I tried to pull out colors that were in some of those rectangles. Okay, some of these I just don't have those colors anymore because they were scraps, but trying to match it close enough. Okay, so and then, but for the foundation row, as you can see, I used this gold, and I used the same color for each of the foundation rows. Okay, I didn't change colors on that. Okay, and then I had to finish it off with a single crochet, so I did the same orange just to kind of complete that as like a band. Okay, so that was the 3rd inning of the project, and so inning number 4 is the one I'm just completing. I'm not complete with it. I've got to do, I'm not finished with it. I'm halfway through, because you have to do 2 rows of completed rows, because each design takes 2 rows to do, so it's 4 rows. But anyway, the star stitch, and so that is the star stitch. If you can see that, I did. I used. I believe that's Red Heart Super Saver in Iran, and with the star stitch, if you're familiar with that, you have to do the 1 row there of that does the bottom part of, creates the bottom part of the star, and then you do a top row that makes the top part of the star. Okay, and so I did that in this Iran, like I say, that which is Red Heart Super Saver. It's like an off-white, and I was thinking, I think it's the same color that I did for this on the squares. So I decided to put that in there to kind of trying to unite the colors together in some way. Okay, so now I need to do 1 more of this star stitch, which is 2 more rows, and I think, as you can see the colors there, I think I'm going to go back and pick up this pink again and put that on top of there. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now as far as the size, I have measured it so far, and it is about 31 inches square. And so when I finish the next star stitch rounds, which is 2 rounds, it should be about 32 inches square, I think. And I think what I'm going to do is, because this is only the completion of the 5th row, and there are 9 this is the completion of the 4th inning, okay? And so in this project there's 9 innings, just like a baseball game. And so what was I going to say? Oh, it's going to be really large if I go all the way to the 9th inning in a square type, you know, all the way, like a square. It's going to be a very large square. And so what I'm aiming for is lap gan sizes. And so what I'm thinking about doing is, once I finish this next star stitch rounds, then I don't know, I'm looking to see what the, like, okay, so the 5th inning is the next one, and it is called a crosshatch stitch, which it looks kind of like a slanted shell, or no, slanted granny stitch, sort of, how I can explain it just by looking at it. But that's the next section. or inning. And I think what I'm going to do is when I finish the next star round, then I might see if I can then, well, that would be 32 inches. I might go ahead and do the next inning, which would get me a little bit wider, maybe to 35. I'm aiming to maybe be 35 to 36, 38 inches maybe wide, but then I want to try to get some length on it. So I was thinking, well, maybe if I can look at how the stitches are, that I can just do like the top one side and then the opposite side, which would be the top and the bottom if you held it that way, and then build on it and make it more of a rectangle, which would be like a lap blanket, because I think a lap blanket size I kind of aim for was it 38 or 35 or something by 42, I don't know. I should have looked it up before I got on here, because I do have it written down somewhere, but I forgot. But anyway, so that's what I was thinking. If I could just build on two sides, you know, the opposite sides, to start making it longer, like a rectangle, instead of it continuing being a square and then getting too big for what I was wanting it to be for. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud, so you can comment below if you think you think maybe that'll work. But anyway, that is my progress on my WIP Wall Wednesday project. I'll hold it up here again. So I went from this orange all the way up to the top. So that's how much I added all that section, about a hand's width of progress on it all the way around. And so that's what I've done so far. And so I will check back in with you for WIP Wall Wednesday episode number 8 in 2 weeks. And we'll see how much more I get done on this. I doubt that I'll have it finished up, but I'm hoping to get some good progress, or at least finish up doing the square part and then start trying to lengthen it to be a rectangle. So anyway, I will keep you posted on my progress on this project. So that is it for this video, guys. Thanks for coming along and watching and listening to me explain my process of this project. I really appreciate you helping to keep me accountable to get these projects worked on and finished. So thanks, guys, for watching today's video, and I will be back tomorrow for episode number 151 for the Yarnjoy podcast, so stay tuned for that. And I've got a tutorial I'm about to get started with, which will be released in, should be just in a few days. Really short, simple tutorial, just kind of get you started on it. It's like a baby blanket type stitch, and then then once we get to the repeats, then you can just repeat it as big as you want. So I think it'll be a really good project or tutorial to have, or a stitch pattern to learn. It's just something that I just kind of come up with. I'm sure it's been done before, but something I just sat down and started stitching, and that's what I came up with, and some of you expressed interest of me showing you how I did it. So that will be upcoming as well. Okay, so I'm going to get off here and get on to these next videos and projects, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.